first of all, so I don't know how you are going to say about what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to explain, but actually, well, I don't know what you think about, or I don't know what you're going to think about the description or what I'm going to say or what I'm going to speak out. But actually, so and if you have already checked out the title of this episode, and I don't know, maybe you may find me crazy, and so anyway, at least I need to explain this present time or when this present time is, and I'm creating this recording or I'm creating this record or I'm creating this episode of my podcast in November in 2023, and one of the most remarkable events in this world is the war in Gaza Strip, which is located in the soil of Israel, and so the pronunciation of that country, or the pronunciation of the name of that country is really difficult for a non-native speaker of English language, and so in my mother tongue, the name of that country is Israel, and using Russian language, the name of that country is Israel is Russian pronunciation for the name of that country, and in English, and the name of that country is Israel, or Israel. And anyway, so there's a war, or there's a huge military conflict in Israeli soil, which is and the war is taking place in Gaza Strip, and that country has two Palestinian territories, or Palestinian soils, and one which is Gaza Strip, and the other which is West Bank. Yes, maybe this name is correct, I think. And anyway, this and so which means there's another remarkable event. Well, there's another remarkable event, which is, I don't know how to say. Maybe that company hasn't bankrupt for now. And the name of that company is China Evergrande, and using Chinese language, the name of that company is Handa. And if you understand Chinese language, and it's fine if you understand English language. If you do not understand Chinese language, and it's fine, I'm going to explain. And to start with, the translation of that episode is written on the very title of this episode. And anyway, so I should tell you the title at the conclusion of this episode. And anyway, so I should have greeted, or I should have spoke out the greeting phrase in Chinese language. And 大家好，我姓龚，叫龚理查。And I said, so hello everybody, I'm Richard Gong. Anyway, I should tell you the title and the conclusion of this episode. The title is 我成为恒大的股东了. And translating this into not Chinese language but English language, that is, I became a shareholder of China Evergrande. And F word is added, or I wrote F word at the end of the title of this episode. And so this is a kind of gambling, but actually, so Honda or China Evergrande had been one of the largest companies in mainland China, and actually the China Evergrande had been one of the largest countries of real estates in China, or in the mainland China, and which is why I decided to buy stocks of that company, and which is how I became a stockholder, or a shareholder of China Evergrande, or using Chinese language, the name of that company is Handa. And maybe it was weeks before when the trading of the stocks of that company started had started for the past in the past 2 years, and after the start of the exchange of that stocks, and the stock price of that company plunged, and as if there's no friction working against the stock price of that company, and the stock price of China Evergrande fell, not dramatically, as if without any force working against the gravity of the stock price of China Evergrande. How should I say? Free precipitation. The image, the understanding of the falling stock price of China Evergrande is that dynamic phenomenon, and that is explained. So in my mother tongue, that is free precipitation. Free precipitation is, I think, is a suitable name for that fiscal movement of general things, or basic things like a ball force. If you grab a ball, and if you lift that ball, and if you release that ball without any throwing force, and that ball falls, because there is a gravity in the earth, and which is why the ball, how should I say, there is a gravity, or there is a gravity for working to a ball, which is why the ball falls onto the ground, and it's possible to say so. And well, that's not correct. So a ball has a pulling force, and which works to the earth. But actually, the gravity of the earth, or the pulling force from the earth working towards the ball is far larger than that of ball working against the earth from or by the ball, which is why the ball falls onto the ground. Anyway, so if you anyway, so if you are a professional, how should I say? So not physician, but not physiologist. I forgot how to call that branch of scientist. Anyway, if you are proficient in physics, or if you are proficient in dynamics, and maybe you have better explanations, I think. And anyways, so describing the falling stock price of China Evergrande was such a thing. And anyway, so I should tell you the current or present stock price of this company, and the current stock price of this company is, maybe I shouldn't tell you the current stock price of this company, and that is because I may be identified. And anyway, so 0.223 or something in Hong Kong dollars. Please let me finish this description by this description. And I don't like to be identified by any of you. So which is why, so I'd like to finish the description of the stock price, or I'd like to finish the present stock price of China Evergrande. Anyway, and I have become a shareholder of China Evergrande. And why I became a shareholder of that company is that, so I expected that the stock price of that company would recover, which means, so would recover. The meaning of would recover is that, so the stock price of that company is going to rise, which is what I expected, and which is why I bought that. And maybe, how should I say, if the stock price recovers, or if the stock price rises, maybe the increase doesn't fi- the increase doesn't finish tenfolds, or how should I say, how large, if you ask me how large the tenfold is, and I can't answer, but actually, the stock price may become higher, higher than 10 times higher, I'm sorry for my wrong manner of speaking English language, and the stock price of that company may grow higher, may grow, for example, 10 times higher than that of this present time. But actually, so I don't think that the rise of the stock price of that company, it doesn't finish at the point 10 times as high as that in this present time. I'm sorry for my low proficiency of English language. Which is why I'm really bad at explaining things in English language. Anyway, for example, so I think that the stock price is going to surge, for example, 50 times as large as that in this present time. I mean, of course, I'm not a professional stock trader, or no, I'm not an expert in the trading of stock exchanges. But actually, so I have some experiences of trading stocks of huge companies, or I have some experience of piling or increasing my own wealth or my own assets using stocks of huge companies, and which is why, so this is according to my or in my perspective, the stock price of that company is going to surge, or the stock price is going to rise, and of course, the budget or the company is in the red, meaning maybe the company has lost the loss of that company in this year is quite huge. So, but actually, I think that the stock price is going to rise again, which is what I had expected when before I purchased the shares, some shares of that company. And anyway, so this is all the stuff I'd like you to know. This is all the stuff I'd like you to know this time. And there's nothing else to explain in this time. So the title is 我成为恒大的股东了. And I became a shareholder of China Evergrande and F-Word. And because after I bought the stocks of that company, the stock price fell. And actually, so comparing the stock price of this time and the stock price at which for which I bought the shares, and so the former one is higher, but actually, so I paid brokerage fees. I paid extra money, which is why, so although the stock price at which I bought, or the stock price for which I bought the shares is lower, or it's exceeded by the incumbent price, or the present price of that stock of that company. So so in terms of the surplus and loss, so the result of this time, or at this time, is loss. Meaning, so so the stock price at which the how should I say, so which means, so adding or incorporating the brokerage fee into the money I needed for buying the stocks of that company. So so the total loss exceeded the surplus. Please imagine such a thing. But actually, I think I can. But actually, I think the stock price of that company is going to rise, or is going to increase. So which is why, so maybe the stock price is going to, or maybe the result of my having purchased the stocks of that company is going to become in the black, which is what I'm expecting for now. And this is all the stuff I'd like you to know this time. And anyway, I have told you the title and the conclusion of this episode. So that's it. Thank you very much for listening. See you. 再见。